We begin with the storms that moved through West Michigan tonight, resulting in severe thunderstorm and even tornado warnings for some parts of our area. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist George Lessons with the latest.
Yeah, the storms went from strong to severe here this afternoon and this evening, some of them enough to produce wind damage up across Mecosta County. You knew things were going to go from bad to worse out on Lake Michigan. Earlier, Ruth Ann sent me this video of a developing water spout. You can see it. You really can't see it unless you see it right there on the water. Didn't do any damage, but you knew things were going to be interesting. This came on shore over about Pere Marquette Beach about 5:15 this afternoon. There was many videos and photos of a shelf cloud as those storms moved into the Granville area. William capturing this and sending it to me. That was a little bit of a time lapse. Bryce up in Cedar Springs is showing the approaching storm as well. Very good structure with that. And then things got worse as the storms developed. They picked up enough energy from the inland areas to produce some strong winds as they started on up in portions of southeastern Newaygo County. You can see the time lapse from about 5 o'clock this evening. They really got going about 6:30 and they barreled into southwestern Mecosta County up through Barryton. And here's a look at what we saw inside of the storm. We were tracking this area right in through here as it moved off to the northeast. There it goes. It went right up across Mecosta County and produced that wind damage, and that continued for at least a half an hour, 45 minutes. And here are the storm tracks as it moved north of Morley, south of Stanwood, on up into the Rodney area and north of Canadian Lakes. Fortunately, all of that activity is done, but we may have a second round of storms coming our way about this time tomorrow night. So the daylight hours tomorrow will be okay. It is late tomorrow night through very early Wednesday. We'll have to stay weather aware. Juliet?
The storms did cause some damage and power outages across West Michigan tonight. 13 on your side's Julia Gorman continues our coverage. She joins us here in studio with a look at that damage.
Juliet, as George was just showing us, we got so many great pictures from you at home from across West Michigan, and we did see some damage in Mecosta County. As George was just mentioning, that area was hit hard. As you're seeing here, some pictures behind me of the Morley-Stanwood area, you can see that there's been some building damage, lots of trees and tree limbs taken down. We have learned just in the last hour that Morley-Stanwood Community Schools will be closed tomorrow, Tuesday, because of power outages in that area. We also got just so many pictures of the really interesting looking clouds in the area. As you can see, just more of that damage here right now. And coming up in just a moment, there's those clouds that I was talking about. We saw some lightning photos, some heavy rain that was moving in. If I scooch out of the way a little bit here, there is that lightning strike that I was just mentioning, a really interesting photo there. Of course, this is all top of mind for folks in our area after that really destructive weather we had around the Portage area just a couple of weeks ago. Now take a look here at your screen. This is the aftermath of that barn fire we mentioned at the top of the show. One of our photojournalists went to. It's in Jenison near the high school there. We are still working to confirm exactly what happened, if anyone was hurt, but initial reports did come in that was due to a lightning strike to that barn there during the severe weather. We'll bring you more updates on that as we learn them. And take a look here now. This is the outage map currently for Consumers Energy. More than 27,000 power outages right now. And as for Great Lakes Energy, which we know some folks have in our area, about 1,500 outages or so in the last few minutes. So we will continue to, of course, follow those outages and any of the other updates from the weather tonight. Juliet.